Welcome to Toffee TV. We are joined by Callum Snell here. We're going to talk, Ped, about Oumar Niasse, everyone's favourite subject.
This is the Daily Extra, by the way.
It is the Daily Extra, yeah. I should have probably introduced that, but there you go. Well, you know it's the Daily Extra because you'll have clicked on it.
Okay.
Won't he, obviously? Oumar Niasse, been in the news. Listen, he's been out the Premier League match day squad for the last couple of games. Hasn't been in the 18. More and more stories appearing now that he's going to go to Galatasaray, looks like, in January. Apparently he was close to moving in the summer. It didn't quite happen. So are we right to consider letting him go in January?
Yes. He's played 48 minutes of Premier League football so far. So I think personally, if this... I think you're always gauged on like your squad players, however good your squad players are. You know, that's your drop off, isn't it? You're only as good as your squad players. And you look at him, and you look at Dominic Calvert-Lewin as a kid, and you look at him as a 27-year-old,
28 now, isn't he?
28-year-old international, and you just think, nah, you're not good enough. And even though last season he had his little moments and come back out the wilderness, for me, I just think I think it's about pecking orders, and I think as we try and improve, everyone will go down one. So maybe if we go out and got a boss centre forward, Toshan will go down one, and then that means the one at the bottom, who I think is Niasse at the moment, needs to be shifted. So,
Callum, what do you think?
I mean, I agree. I mean, you know, talking about Niasse, like you mentioned last season, I think there's a lot of nostalgia attached to it a little bit. It was all like, oh, Oumar, you know, he's come back, he's come out, you know, he's got a locker. It was all a bit, because I think a lot of it was the situation that we found ourselves in last season. We were sort of scraping the barrel for any sort of positivity we could, you know what I'm saying? And like, I feel like Niasse was one of them, especially, you know, he came on, scored against Bournemouth, didn't he? He got a couple against Bournemouth, and then the Sunderland game as well, and people were like, oh yeah, and there's a lot of like, but now that I think a bit of progression has been made, I think people are now starting to think, you know, now Silver and Brands or whatever, getting their feet under the desk a little bit, and you're like, okay, now do we have time for putting up with this a little bit? And what I've seen so far when he's been this season, no.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? Last season he was effective. Yeah, he was effective. You know, he scored against Crystal Palace as well, and obviously got the suspension, won the penalty, and that maybe took the wind out of his sails a little bit. But he was an effective player. But this season, you look at him and you just think, you know, your time's up. And I'm not having a go at the lad, by the way. I do think that ability wise he's limited, but effort wise he still gives everything. But I think this season, I don't know whether it just seems like he knows his time's up.
He knows, and
I don't think that means that he stopped trying. I just look at him and think the enthusiasm's gone out of you.
I was going to say that last year he had the point to prove. He got in. You know, Koeman had treated him poorly. Let's be honest, treated him awfully. If we're being honest about it. You know, when he got back in the fold and he worked hard, and
it was always about proving a point on it, and he's sort of reached that glass ceiling now to a certain extent. You know what I mean? And now it's like, what else can you offer us now? And he's like, I don't know. And you're like, and you know, and it's a shame for the lad, but you know, he comes to a point where, you know, decisions have to be made, especially if you want to go forward anyway. And
I think you're right, Callum. I think the fact that everybody's level's gone up, I think in that squad, everyone's gone up. Where last year we were desperate for anyone to just put the ball in the net. Let's be honest, we were, weren't we? You know, when we got Jens Tosun and then he didn't hit the ground running, so Niasse important.
And Niasse did put the ball in the net. I think that's why a lot of people had a bit of a sentimental attachment to him. So, and I think that's why there are questions, you know, around him, like, oh, does he stay, does he go? But you know, if you've got to make decisions, you know, and some of these ties got to be cut, mate.
I think he was an underdog, wasn't he? And people like an underdog, especially at Everton. When things are going wrong, people, and it was also a two fingers up to Koeman as well. When times were bad, especially
and the fans got on board with that,
especially with the Bournemouth game, when people were like, we're not winning games, and then this fella comes off the bench and proves a point.